Today I'm going to be giving my thoughts and kind of a comprehensive review on this instrument, the VB100 Rogue Violin Bass. Clearly, it is based off of the Hofner violin bass, kind of a cheaper version of it. That's not to say that it's not a good instrument. I think it's good. It does have some manufacturing issues because unlike the Hofner basses, this thing isn't made in Germany. It's made in this particular model is made in China. You can tell because the Korean models of this, basically, the old models of this bass were made in Korea, and they had the little metal guard placement thing here to hold the pick guard in place. And this does not. Put a picture of that up there. But that doesn't say it's a bad instrument just because it was made cheaply. Just kind of go over some of the negatives now, I guess, because I don't know. I guess we'll start with the negatives. Yeah, the frets on these are particularly sharp on the bottom here, to the point where I might actually file it down because, like, if I'm trying to play down here, it actually does get kind of scratchy. Other complaints? I don't know. That might be it. I don't know. The material of the control panel here, this background of the control panel, and the pickguard itself, just kind of looks and feels like styrofoam. Like, at distance, it looks pretty nice. Up close, it doesn't. Like, it's very flaky, and it looks like it was cut kind of awkwardly. The only violin bass I played before this was the Hofner Ignition series, which is the cheapest of the Hofner basses. Those ones are also made overseas, not in Germany. So it's, I believe it's like from the same factory as this thing, except the production standards might be a bit higher on those just because it's an actual Hofner. Yeah, no, this one works pretty fine. I mean, the strings that are on here aren't the greatest, although these are just the stock strings. It came with this low E string, doesn't like to stay in tune, but that could have something to do with the nut. Oh yeah, no, the nut on the top here, the way the strings are in, looks a bit uneven, and there's kind of some weird cuts, but I mean, aside from that, like, it plays, like, it works. Yeah, no, that's pretty much all my negatives. We'll get into the positives. First off, I just want to say that the finish on the body and the neck of this is just gorgeous. Like, the burst looks incredible. It feels really nice too. Like, it doesn't feel like it's like a cheaply painted on. Like, it looks very nice. This isn't a positive or negative, but like, just from what I remember playing the Ignition bass, the white stripes on the side of the Hofner basses are a bit thicker. That's not really a problem with me. I mean, it looks close enough. Just to mention this now, because this instrument is so synonymous with Paul McCartney and the Beatles. Like, a lot of the reasons people will buy one of these knockoff violin basses is to play Beatles music, which kind of is the reason I bought it. It's you pick it up and you play, and you just you instantly get in that mood. Oh, I need your love, babe. Yes, it's true. It just gets you in that in that. And that's not to say that you can't play other types of music with this, other genres, other musicians, but it definitely does cater towards that particular type of sound. It's not going to be as harsh as, say, like, I don't know, like a Fender precision bass or anything, or it might not be like as versatile or as burpy as like a jazz bass. That term burpy, with all the slapping. Like, you don't slap this instrument. Because this is a short scale neck, the strings tuned to the same pitch as a regular bass are under less tension, so it does kind of cater that more open sound, which I also want to mention that it's pretty impressive that this is a hollow-bodied instrument. It's a set neck, it's not a bolt-on neck for an instrument. Which, by the way, I got to mention, I bought this used off a musician's friend for about $120, which was a fantastic deal. Brand new, I believe these are usually $229, which even then it's a pretty good deal for this. In my opinion. But yeah, no, I'm talking a little bit about some of the electronics, how they work. So I've got this nifty little control panel here, which is pretty cool. So it's got individual volumes for each pickup. So this one controls the neck pickup, this one controls the bridge pickup, so if you have both on, you can have individual control. Give you some cool options for tone, which is pretty neat. Got a switch here for the treble pickup on and off, which is strange because I have volume off for that. Same thing with the bass pickup. And something interesting I noted about this instrument, and I don't think this is on the Korean model, because just videos I've seen, but on this, alright, so on most violin basses, these switches are backwards. So by that I mean, like, when you turn the bass, let's say for example the bass pickup off with this switch, all that does is well, alright, let's say they're both off, right? Both the pickups would actually be on, but on this it's off. And with this, you turn them both on and they're both on. On other violin basses, it's actually flipped, where turning on one will just turn off the other pickup. But on this, it's just like a regular, like it works how you think it would work as opposed to working backwards, which is how most violin basses are wired, which, you know, it's not a complaint of mine. I mean, to some people, that might seem less authentic, but I'm not going for 100% authenticity. I just want something, you know, kind of cool looking, which I certainly think it is. But yeah, so the switches work, you know, they control each individual pickup. Turn that back to cool. There's a rhythm and solo switch right here. It's basically just a volume boost. Right now this is on rhythm. Yeah, so that's rhythm. And then turn it to solo. Oh, whoop. Oh, I turned the pickup off. My bad. All right. Turn to solo. So aside from it being louder, I also believe that it's a tone control. The tone, it almost sounds like the tone was turned up a bit. I don't know if that's the case, like online, like I couldn't find the answers, but it's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, versus, you know, turning it back to rhythm. It's a weird way to play them together. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm using a pick, as you might notice, for a bass guitar. Paul McCartney famously used a pick, in almost exclusively. That's not so you can't use your fingers for this instrument. In my opinion, just from what I've been playing, to get the best sound from a pick, you have the treble pickup off, and you have the bass pickup on, and you have the style switch set to rhythm. And in my opinion, that gives the best pick sound. Just from what I know. But for your fingers, turn both pickups on, and then you can just, you know, use your fingers. That's a bad example, but anyway, but yeah, so using your fingers, like that, I think. That's not to say you can't use the treble pickup on its own. It sounds interesting in its own right. Yeah, but no, I mean, it sounds pretty good. Like I said, it's hollow body, so you can really feel kind of the presence of each note played, which is interesting. Something I kind of don't notice from my precision bass is that, you know, it's such a heavy instrument, and it kind of takes such most of the sound. You really feel every note played with this thing. Something else is interesting to note. It could be a negative for some people, because this is a hollow body and the neck is solid. It's got a heck of a neck dive. Like, as soon as I let go, this is a pretty slippery strap, though. Like, it falls. For some people, that's a negative. I mean, I guess it is kind of a negative, but I don't know. I don't mind it. The body, the whole thing itself feels very light. Like, it's not a hassle to play, and the fact that the neck kind of stays up like that doesn't really bother me at all in particular. But yeah, no. So basically, my opinions about the Rogue violin bass. This is a pretty funky tailpiece. Doesn't look anything like the Hofner. Some of the reviews I saw said it felt flimsy. I think it feels fine. Doesn't feel flimsy at all. Bridge right here, I believe is a rosewood bridge. I don't think that's a rosewood fingerboard. Feels a little. Yeah, I don't think it's rosewood, so I don't know what kind of material it is. It's a maple neck. I'm pretty sure it's plywood face here. But yeah, no. Aside from that, really good instrument. I really enjoy. Oh, there's Rogue on the headstock. If you're a purist, I guess you could rewrite Hofner. It's got these metal die-cast tuners, nothing like the ivory ones on a real Hofner, but I mean they get the job done. They stay in tune. They don't feel cheap. They are kind of wide, kind of look like wings. But yeah, no, this is the Rogue Violin bass. I recommend it. Yeah.